up, the internet? I'm Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. Welcome, mad creators, to the underground laboratory where together we're going to create some awesome comics, because this is Making Comics 101 and this is a bonus issue. So this week we are talking about marketing. It is the final week of this whole series that I've been doing, Making Comics 101, and we're going to end it with marketing, because once you've produced your book, that's what you have to do next, and you have to continue to do it. And that's a tough thing, because a lot of times when I'm done with my book, I just put it out there and I try to do the marketing, but sometimes, I'm on to the next thing. But we really need to concentrate on that marketing after our product is done and just moving forward and keep marketing those products. So, and of course, we're talking about comics today. I will show you some other examples, but I'm going to use my own website and some of my own products as an example, just because I'm familiar with it. But you hopefully can take what I'm doing and modify it to whatever you're doing, whatever comic books you're creating and everything. So the first thing right now, I am on my website, and the first thing I want to say, it is very important really to get your own website. Now, I know, some people may argue with me or whatever, but when an artist sends me a link and it's like a DeviantArt or ArtStation, it just doesn't have the same, I immediately, and maybe this is wrong of me, but I don't think that person might be as professional as maybe somebody that does have a website. A website just speaks to professionalism. If you have your own website, it says something about, that you're serious about this. And it's really, a lot of it's not that hard. It does take some research. There's some cost, but there's also WordPress. I use a Squarespace site, which there are fees to that, especially when you start getting into using some of the like e-commerce packages and everything. But anyway, it's just a business, so I have to take it seriously. But regardless of that, even if you are, selling on some other platform or whatever, hopefully there's some takeaways. So what I'm going to do now is, this is my website. Of course, at the very top, here's marketing right here. I've got a sale going on right now. So, 40% off, pretty good sale. If you're watching this after the fact, that may not be valid anymore. I'm not sure, depending on when you're watching this. But anyway, so I'm going to go. I've got it set up. My store is kind of set up in two. I've got downloads, which are my digital products, and store, which is physical products. I may change that around to make it a little more, make a little more sense. But that's the way I have it right now. So I'm going to click on store. And like I said, these are my physical products. So right off the bat, you see my comic books. I sell a bunch of different things, not just comics. But if you can look how I'm presenting these, you'll notice that in a lot of these tactics, these are things that most people can do, but a lot of people don't do them. So this is going to separate you and set you apart from what, 80-90% of other people are doing, especially selling comics, because usually people are selling comics, they'll just have a screenshot of their comic. Now, I kind of have that too, but you can see I've got a little bit of a background here, so just make it a little more interesting. And even when you get into, and that's just my comics, but when you get into some of these other products, you see, like I have, models holding up, some of my prints and things, and you can do that with the comic too. It always helps if you can, think, we're dealing with digital stores, we're dealing with online stores, but if there's a way to get that experience or present that experience of a physical store as best you can, then you want to do that. So if you can show your comic book against some physical object so it looks a little more real, so it's just not a screenshot. So that's what I want to talk about first, is just pictures, your photographs. So I'm gonna click on this. This is a bundle for the first 4 issues of Young and the Dead, my comic book. So I'm gonna click on that. Now, as you can see, you can see the different comics here. This is a bundle, so it includes all 4. And if I go in here and I click on this, you can see that I'm showing previews of what the artwork looks like inside, which you definitely don't want to skip on this. People are making their buying decisions, and the more information they have about your product, the more likely they are to buy it. So, and then of course there is a limit. If you've got too much information, it could be information overload. But I tend to like to show, I want to show my interior. I want to show people what the interior art looks like and everything. So I've got, 5 different, and then I've just got the logo here or whatever. But I've got 5 different images here. And this is good for SEO, which we will also talk about, but each one of these pictures is searchable. So don't just throw up one picture of your comic. You want to show you want to show other things, the interior of comics. Now, the comic book is a little different than, say, I go back here. Let me show you. So I've got other products here, like my lab provision. So I've got all these different mad science supplies. So if I click on this, this is the growing glob. It's kind of like a slime. So here I want to show that, yes, it comes in different, there's different colors available, just to show as much information in these as I can. But you can kind of see that this is a physical product. You get to see, a number of different things just from the photographs. Let me show you here. Here's a good example. So let me scroll down a little. Where is that? Okay, so I also sell, right now they're sold out. So, but anyway, so here's these messenger bags. So cool. You want to think of your customers, their user experience. You want to think like your customers. If you're going to go buy a bag, it's cool. It's got a cool design and everything, but what use is it to me? What can I do with it? And somebody may not even be thinking. They just might click on this and say, oh, that's a cool design. You click on this and then you start going through here and you say, oh, okay. So I can see what it looks like. I can hold my sketchbook and everything. And what is this here, Oh, it's a tablet. It's perfect for tablets. So you want to show not only just a picture of your product, but what you can do with it. If you're selling a vacuum cleaner, you don't want to just take a picture of the vacuum. You want to show somebody actually pushing that vacuum and maybe even with a smile on their face so they're happy about using the product. Things like that. You want to create that user experience. You want to let the potential buyer know how they can get use out of this, what a benefit is going to be to them. And you can do that with photographs, and there's a number of different ways you can do that. Some of these, like with these prints, let's see. So right here with this model, I don't know this person. This is I didn't take this photograph. I didn't do a photo shoot of this. Now you can, if you've got the wherewithal, you could hire a model and have them take pictures, but basically this is stock photography. And at the time that I did this, I believe I had a subscription to Shutterstock. But since then, I no longer have a subscription to Shutterstock. But I can go on like a site like Design Cuts, and they've got like mock-up packs that you can, spend $30 and get this pack of all these different mock-ups and everything that you can use. And so I've just got, I've got the model here holding up the print, which shows the size, because sometimes that information doesn't come across if you're just showing the print, or show. Oh, that's kind of cool. Look at that. Or show what it would actually look like framed and on your wall. You want to give the impression of what this is going to look like to the end consumer. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about as far as photos. The other thing is, and you can do photo shoots, and if you do that, research, how to take decent photos. A lot of that you can use, you can buy studio lights and things that sometimes that can be expensive, but just a good natural light. And there's certain times of the day that work better for that and everything. And I'm not going to really get into photography, and I'm not an expert on photography, but there are, like these bow ties here. These are all, I had to do photo shoot. These aren't as easily mock-upable, I guess. I don't know if that's a phrase or not. But you can kind of see, and I show what the package looks like and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, now with your, we're showing physical products here, but let's go to download products. So these are, and I sell digital versions of my comics and everything, but then I also sell like the Comic Maker Toolkit. And with these, I just got tons, and sometimes you may be limited to how many different images you can put, but like I said, the more images you can put, the better somebody's gonna, get an idea of, what your product is. If you're just doing a comic, then, you can show the interior, like I said. With this, there's a lot of different stuff going on. I want to show all the different fonts, all the brushes. I want to let people know exactly what they're going to be getting with this product. Here's another example. Let me go back to downloads. So, for instance, let's click on this zombie builder. Now, with something like this, a lot of people, they don't. When I say, "Oh, I do digital products," and they're like, "Well, what's a digital product? I don't get it." So you want to show them what it is. So again, we'll click on this. We've got our main image here, but then I'm showing, it's got all these different eyes, and you can build these different things, but that might not be enough. Here right now I'm showing what you can build with this. You can make your own stickers. So I'm actually showing the stickers stuck to a notebook. Again, this is just a mock-up. I'd never actually produced these stickers. I did this all in Photoshop, but I made it look like, oh, this is cool. Yeah, I'd love to make stickers. So that gives the potential customer an idea of what they can do with this product. Same thing here. Oh, I can design my own T-shirts or bags, tags. Here, I could design my own products with this. Here's a ice cream. This isn't an actual product. This brain freeze doesn't exist. It's all mocked up and made to look like it's an actual physical product. But it gives the potential customer an idea of what they can, what they can do with this product. Again, birthday invitations. I'm showing an example. Oh, it's great for creating, birthday invitations for your kids, or birthday or party favors for it's Halloween or whatever. So I'm showing, not only like here, I'm showing what's included, but I'm showing what you can do with the product. So you want to think about that. Now, a lot of us, we're talking about comics here, so it's a little different, but think about it this way. If you're just selling comics, it doesn't have to be just comics. I mean, stickers aren't that much to produce. So if you got a comic book, maybe your main character, you want to create a sticker of them or whatever, and you could throw that in. I always throw in extras, and I should take this advice myself, because if you go to my comics, you go to my comic store, I show the interior and everything, but I always throw in extras and stuff, but I'm not showing this here. I should be showing it. I should be showing that if you buy this comic, you also get stickers included, and show that in your photographs or whatever. If there's something that you can add to that experience, and stickers stickers are light. They're not going to weigh down your package if you ship it out. Now, if you're doing something like T-shirts, that's a little different. Plus, you're probably not going to want to just include a T-shirt, But things like stickers, bookmarks, all that stuff, and just put them in with your photos so people know what they're getting. So, again, it just creates that experience, and it entices people more to want to purchase your comics or whatever else you're selling. And don't be short-sighted with just comics. You can sell prints and do all kinds of other things, but take some of these ideas and use them, because they're effective. So the next thing I want to talk about is your descriptions. You want to create unique descriptions, things that are going to let your customer know what the product is, but also, be creative. We are all creative people. If we're making comics, then we're creative. And just think of how, when you watch a TV commercial, how do they advertise that product? How do the language that they use, how is it getting the customer to be interested in that product and wanting to purchase it? So let me go here. So this is one of my little lab products. This is the Sticky Hydropus. It is like sort of an octopus type thing that you throw it at walls and it crawls down walls. So it's just a little novelty. But what I do here is I try to create a story around it. So it starts off with here's my description. So all these lab products have the same description in the beginning, where it says Serkworks Labs presents our new line of laboratory provisions made for mad scientists by mad scientists, and then the name of the product, Sticky Hydropus, creeps and crawls down walls. So I'm letting you know right off the bat what it does, and then I go into this description, and this is just all advertising. It's basically hogwash. It's not a real thing, but I'm selling a story. I'm creating a story around this product. So it says, mollusks have the innate ability to squeeze through impossibly tight spaces. Serkworks Labs use cephalopod DNA to create this 12-tentacled decapod to convert reconnaissance missions. I forgot I wrote this. But anyway, so, and then it just goes in, and then there's a little warning. Serkworks Art Labs are not intended for children under the age of 3 and should be used under the supervision of qualified adult mad scientists. So there's a little bit of a warning, because I do have to put the, under 3 shouldn't use it, but then I make it kind of tongue-in-cheek, where under the supervision of an adult mad scientist. And then it says, they have the ability, they may stain clothing, react, and which could be possible. I don't know if that's the case or not, but just in case, you want to cover your bases. And then it says, and they may react erratically to human contact and spontaneously combust. Use at your own risk. Now, there's pretty much no chance that this thing's going to explode, but it's just kind of a fun thing, and it creates an experience. Like, I'm trying to sell the idea that this is a mad scientist, company, that this is a mad science supply company. So I want to create these unique descriptions. And you can do that, my comics are the same. With comics, I'm giving more of a description about the actual, the book here. So it says 11-year-old Sam Young and his little brother Tad join forces with some neighborhood misfits to defend their treehouse from the onslaught of flesh-eating zombies. It's Goonies meets Night of the Living Dead. So I pretty much sum up what it's about. But be creative and don't forget to put your relevant information in here. Right here, I've got 24 pages, so they know. You don't want people to be surprised when they get your book and like, oh man, I thought this was going to be like a 200-page graphic novel, and it's 24 pages. So, I let people know. I let people know this black and white. I let people know the size. So put that information in there. Now, when we're creating descriptions, we're not just thinking about, obviously we want to sell our product, we want to know what people it is, we want to entice them to buy it, but we also want this to be searchable. We want to add, we want to sprinkle in keywords and things like that. So with most of my products, I've got some copy here. Serkworks Art Labs offers nerdy sci-fi goodness to aspiring evil geniuses and mad science alike. Get your geek on with the best in handmade art, prints, books, trading cards, games, buttons, bow ties, apparel, and novelty. So right there, these are keywords. People are searching, art prints or books or trading cards, and these are pretty general, and you can get more specific. But you see, I'm not just throwing them in there. I'm weaving it into the description. So I've got a list of things here, and I'll show you here. Let me go. All right, so right now I'm sort of the back end of my Squarespace site, so I'm going to click on this. So here you can see the pictures and everything I uploaded, but I want to show you right here the description. So this is the Talk Nerdy to Me like mini print or postcard. So it says, show the nerd in your life you love it when they talk nerdy, whether that involves a deep appreciation for science fiction, movie trivia, quantum mechanics, or the inner workings of the latest advancements of technology. Again, these are all keywords, things that people might search. It's like nerdy, robots. I mean, all this stuff is in here. And then, of course, I talk about the product itself, attractive satin matte finish, what size it is, all that stuff. But also here in the tags, you can see I've got nerdy, geeky gifts. Gifts is a good one, gifts for geeks, gifts for nerds, nerd robots, greeting cards, and some of these are like really specific. Nerd robots, believe it or not, somebody out there is going to be typing that in, and if there aren't a lot of people using that particular keyword, that can help your stuff show up in search. Greeting cards, gifts for scientists, nerd cartoon. So all that stuff. Let me go. So this is just my Evernote. This is for Amazon merch, which are t-shirts. But again, let me show you. This is another t-shirt that I have that's Love is a Binary Language. That's the name of the shirt. It's basically a heart, and the heart is made up of X's and O's. So almost like, instead of the ones and zeros, it's X's and O's. So it's a very geeky shirt it could be for Valentine's Day or whatever, and I mention that because people may be searching Valentine's gifts. So I've got the perfect Valentine's novelty gag gift for the nerdy boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, fiance, married couple, brother, sister. This might get a little, I'm doing a pretty long list here, but these are all searchable. Nerdy computer science, code, Valentine's gifts, all that stuff. And then here in the description, again, just funny binary code. T-shirt is perfect for any programmer, coder, software engineer. So these are things that people are searching for, and I weave, like I said, I kind of weave those into the description. With something like Amazon merch for selling T-shirts, you've got limited space for doing that. On my website, I can go a little further, and I can add all kinds of different descriptions. But you want to think of who are your customers, what are they going to be searching for, and if you have trouble like coming up with keywords, all you really have to do, you can go on to you can go onto just Google and start typing something like nerdy, and then see what else pops up, and you can kind of build your keyword searches from there. And like long tail keywords work too, like sometimes even a question, like somebody may type in a question like what's the best nerdy Valentine's gift? So you could type in your descriptions, best nerdy Valentine's gift, or something like that. That's going to come up when people are searching all this stuff. So anyway, those are just some tips and tricks to help you better market whatever it is. We're talking about comics, but I've showed you a bunch of different examples. But look how other people market different products and how you can change things around and use what they're doing to market your own comics. Yeah, so hopefully that's helpful. Those are just some of my marketing tips, and I will see you guys later. That is all. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Also, you can follow me at Serkworks on social media, and now you can support the work that I do on Patreon. Do you like making comics? Then go to Serkworks.com and pick up the Comic Maker Starter Kit. It's packed full of fonts, brushes, templates, and more. And best of all, it's totally free.